Good morning, Mimosa. This is Leisha.
And I'm Jeannie. Hi, everyone.
Cheers.
Woo, cheers.
Good morning. So, today we're going to talk about
a lot of different subjects.
a lot of different things today. We're going to start with The Bachelor. The other night, I don't know if anybody tunes into The Bachelor or not, but I do, unfortunately. And they were talking about how the Bachelor picked his wife, the other one walked away, and he got on one knee and asked her to marry him. And she said yes, and they're going to get married. So, according to, you know,
the media
and everybody,
they're saying that that's, even though it's called The Bachelor and he's supposed to pick his wife, or he's supposed to pick his wife, that's his job, and he's supposed to get down on one knee and propose. That's really not what that's not what really happens. They
normally
actually ask for a friendship ring,
normally
and they never ever get married.
You
know, they never follow through with the marriage. So what's so different about this one? I mean, why are they making such a big deal about the fact that he got on one knee and
I think it's based on the fact that they typically don't, you know, they end up splitting up. First of all, most of them do. There's a couple of them that
all
work,
right. So actually, because of the history of The Bachelor, the guys get scared now. They're scared of the commitment. They're scared of the marriage. They know that there's kind of a failure in the future with, you know, whatever's going to happen. So now instead of proposing, which is the original reason for the show to begin with, they're now bending down on one knee and asking for a friendship. We don't know where this is going to lead. We never know. So now this one actually asks this girl to marry him. He thinks it's his soulmate, and he.
This one apparently she thinks he's her soulmate too. But historically, the ones that I've watched, now I don't watch every year, I don't watch all the time, but you know.
Actually, I do. This one I'm not really staying on top of. I usually do.
He's boring.
It's just kind of interesting.
He's boring though.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's not a lot of fun. He's not really
That's kind of, I know. That's why I'm not really watching.
I'm not into it either. I mean, he's cute, but you know what I mean? I just click, you know, but.
Well, that's the whole idea. He has to be hot. The girls have to be hot, and that's why we're going to tune in.
Yeah.
But you know, there has to be some brains and some action with the hotness.
Yeah.
In order for us to keep watching, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. He's one just blah 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 blah. You know, it's kind of boring.
But you know, adding to that, okay, because we were talking earlier before they turned the cameras on. We're talking about men. And we're talking about women.
Yeah, and the differences.
And the commitment difference.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming from because you're married and I'm single.
I'm married.
So we like to, you know, go over different views when it comes to a marital view and
versus
it comes to a single view.
Yes.
Because it's a big difference.
It is a big difference.
Right. Now, you know, you're married and, you know, you have a husband, so commitments, you know, means a lot to you, where with me being single, when it comes to commitment, I don't really know much about that. I mean, honestly, I don't, you know. I mean, in my world, men don't commit. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well, you have two sons, too. So how do you, like, how do you teach your sons that, you know, when they find the one that they really love and they think it's their soulmate, you know, how do you turn commitment around for them so that they don't have a fear of commitment. They don't have a fear that if they're going to spend the rest of their lives with this one girl.
Yeah, well, my kids are young, so it's hard.
But they're teenagers, actually.
I know, but still, they're not, like...
Your oldest is 17. He's going to be 18.
I know, well, he's not...
So this is like a good time to talk about.
Well, it would be good to bring a man on and talk to him about that. I mean, I tell them, you know, from a woman's perspective, I tell them, you know, listen, you know, you got to treat her like a lady, open the door, la 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 la, you know, I say what I can. But, you know,
do you teach your sons when they go out on a date that they have to pay for it? Or do you teach them that they pay their share and
I tell my kids to man up. Man up. Okay, that's what I say to them. I mean, that you know, because today, what they're being taught is to the chivalry.
Chivalry.
Is shittery. I'm sorry. Well, chivalry is gone, man. It's not happening. So at least, you know, I have two boys, and I do try to say, pay for the movie. open the door for the girl, do what you can to, treat her like a lady if you can, know?
Now, do they ever give you any feedback as far as, because...
You mean because my husband and I are married and together? And
yeah.
Do they give me feedback? They go, yeah, okay, bye.
Well, no, I mean, do they give you feedback as far as what their views are? Because today, I mean, let's face it, it's different today than it was when we were younger. When I was younger, and I'm still that way, okay? The guy has to call me. He has to court me.
Oh, that's done.
He has to pay for the dinner.
Yeah.
That's not going to change for me ever. If I'm going to date somebody and they think that I'm going to fork out half the bill, or I'm going to open my own car door, I'm not doing it.
You know what?
I'm going to sit in the car until you come around and open the door, because that's just the way it is. That's how I was, I guess, trained by my mother, and I believe in that, and I like being treated that way. My daughter, on the other hand, actually, she's the same way, because I passed that on to her, and she's 20 years old. I passed that on to her. But now I also have 2 boys. They kind of have, they're a little bit of the same way, but they're also kind of confused with the generation today, and and the girls today, because the girls called them. I never.
That's what I was just going to say.
I've never seen anything
very
like that.
forward.
When they were younger, they're older now, but when they were younger, the girls
Yeah.
called them. I mean, their phones rang off the hook. I was like, what's
Yeah.
going on
Yeah,
here?
they
I
wanna
mean, you're
make out
supposed to be
with the
calling the
boys.
girls. I'm
Yeah.
like, why should I call them? They call me.
But you know what? The moms are friends with the girls. See, this is what I'm finding.
Okay.
A lot of the mothers are befriending their daughters. They're friends, okay? It's not mom-daughter.
Yeah, they're acting like friends.
Yeah, and so they talk to each other, and that's great. But that there's a line that's being crossed where, when mom is telling daughter what to do,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's awkward.
Yeah, like they're getting that involved.
They're getting that involved.
Right.
Where, like with my kids, the
Right.
moms of the daughters would try to contact me, which I think is weird, because my kids, I think, are still
Right.
kind of too young for that. Like,
Yeah, why is the mother...
we have better things to do
Right, because
now
I remember
than-
the one situation you had where the mother was calling you because your son hurt
Well, he was in
her
second grade.
daughter. Yes.
He was in second grade.
Second grade.
Mom,
Right.
so they got to chill.
Okay.
Okay,
So
we're going to a
anyway,
break.
all right. So we'll be back. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. I'm Leisha and
Jeannie. Good morning, Mimosa.
Good morning, Mimosa. And so we were going to continue our conversation here and talk about, I wanted to tell you a story about my son who, he's getting really good grades. We're trying to get his GPA up. Got to go to college, the whole thing. A lot of his friends don't have jobs and all. So he sends me these, he's doing really well in his pre-calculus class. He's taking pre-calculus and calculus and and he's doing very well. So he thinks that I should get him a car because he's
His
he's
grades
getting
are
100, 100 and 195.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, when I was your age,
That was the
I
norm.
worked. Huh?
You had to do that. That was the norm.
That was the
It was
norm.
like, you better get good grades or you're in for a month.
Yeah, the lot, like these kids,
Right.
I don't understand it. You get a job, work, go to school, get a car. The natural
did that yourself.
progression. The natural progression of life is
Right.
go to high school, go to college, get a girlfriend, get married, have a baby.
Right.
That's done.
And when you turned 16, you got your driver's license and you bought your own car.
You bought your own car.
Well, I mean, I guess in some families, even if your parents bought you your first car or helped you out, they were helping you out. Now there's something called it's a sense of entitlement that these kids seem to have.
Yeah, like it's handed,
Right.
and the thing
These are struggles that we go through as
Yeah.
moms. Even though I'm single, you're married, we still go through these same struggles because I don't understand it. I just know that when I was younger, I worked, I did everything I was supposed to do. And now it's like, and I hear from my friends, I hear from people that I work with, that the kids, they just and I'm not going to say my kids want this. I can't say that, but
are your kids like that?
Well,
are your kids like that?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit they are. I mean, they're going to get mad at me for saying this, I'm sure. So, but, I mean, some of, yeah, you know, a couple of them are.
Well, they want a handout because Johnny has a handout, Jimmy has a handout, and they're, you know, all their buddies have a handout. This one's buddy's parents are giving it to him. That one, and so why can't I? Why aren't you giving it to me?
Right.
So I'm the awkward one. You know, I'm the one that, because I'm not handing them keys to a car, the keys to a car. I'm like, you know, we're crazy.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean you can't buy me a car?
Well, get those hundreds, get your grades up, go to college,
yeah, you want a job. You want to see a little
like, I don't understand it.
You want to see, if I see a little bit of effort on their part, I will give them 125%. You know, and when I see the effort, that's when I give it. But then I think, am I enabling you? Should I make you do what I had to do when I was younger, and that you know, and just do everything I could myself?
Because how do they carry on through life?
That's what makes me scared.
Yeah,
that's what I'm scared about.
How do they carry on? How do they keep going?
When I'm gone, what's going to happen later in life when they really need to, you know, move up to the
they got to man up
or whatever. And honestly, you know, I'm really, my kids really do work they do work really hard. You know, they really do. So I'm not saying that, and not that they even have to, but they're hard workers. But it's just that I remember when they were younger, and I used to think, okay, get a job first, go to school. I want to see your good grades, and otherwise you're going to be punished, and blah 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 blah. And, you know, that's the struggle that I had as a single mom, you know, when they were younger.
Oh, well, I'm having the struggle now, okay, because right now I'm getting, you know, they're good, and I'll tell you what, when I lay my head at night, I think, God, maybe we can do that.
Right.
You get sucked right into it.
Yeah.
And we were having this conversation earlier.
Right.
About,
because when they're younger, Johnny's mom bought him a brand new car, and why can't I get... You know,
well, you want them to have the best.
Johnny's mom let him stay out till midnight. Why can't I stay out till midnight? You know,
you want them to have everything. You want them to have the best of everything. You want them to have, you know. But it's enabling. It's disabling them. Really, I know. It's like a crazy conversation.
Yeah. So you don't know if you're.
I know, because you want them to have everything you didn't have.
I can't say this
so you want to give them
anymore.
everything, but then at the same time, what are they going to have? How are they going to be able to do anything on their own?
Right, because the question is are you just giving them, you know, what they're entitled to? Because you've worked hard all your life. Why? Exactly. And you work hard all your life to give your kids everything that they want.
Yes.
And then you think, am I providing to them, or am I?
To me, it's insane.
Or is it an entitlement that I should make them learn for themselves?
It's twisted.
It's like it's two moms. It's two moms that just don't know
what to do
or how to handle
because you want
today's life. Because today's life, it's a little different. They don't grow up with the problems that we have. You know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean the real estate market's down. You know, it's getting better, and you know things are getting better. Their generation is different than ours, so they don't see the struggles that we had. So. What we knew is, you know, when we went to buy our house for the first time, we had to save. Today, you really do. You can get into a house with no down payment, no money for closing, so they don't really know, okay, what is that? Why do I have to come up with money for closing?
We're going back to the basics and teaching them how to do things the way they were prior to all of that.
Okay. So we have to,
I think so anyway.
Listen to a sponsor and a commercial right now. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I'm Leisha and Janie. Good morning, Mimosa. And I wanted to talk a little bit about, since it's Delaware, the former Miss Delaware who was, they took her crown away, and somebody, girl from Padua, just took her place. So this is all out there now.
Right.
And, So what do you think of her story? I mean, they
she
took it to
stepped
court.
down. She stepped down because she was in a porn
in the news.
video.
Yeah, she admitted. She apparently admitted that she said her name. You know, they took advantage of her. You know.
Yeah.
And she said her name on the video. So it kind of connected who she was.
Right. And next
so
thing you know, she's all over the internet.
Yeah.
She was in a porn video, and also she committed theft.
Right. She was wanted in the courts or something.
She committed, not that she's, I don't know. If she,
now, my take
well,
on
that's
that.
what the news says.
Yeah.
So it's alleged right now. But
my take on that is, you know, I feel she's a kid, so I feel bad for her. Honestly, a little part of my heart goes out to her.
Right.
Because I'm older and I get it, you know.
Right.
But you know, she was in different foster care, foster families, and
right.
And
she was in foster care.
You know, did she know right from wrong? Maybe not. Maybe she wasn't taught that.
Maybe.
You know? Is there right from wrong? Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Was a line crossed? Yes. So what do? You know what I mean? She's got to learn her lesson, but at the same time,
yeah,
you know,
it's a touchy subject because, you know, this is a girl that was in foster care, and she did jump from home to home to home.
Yeah.
And I do know from experience, from being a volunteer for a couple of organizations that have to do with foster children, that these kids age out at 18 years old, and they, many of them have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go. So
the streets.
There's a lot of them that are desperate, and they're going to do what they have to do to survive. It's about It's about being a survivor when you turn 18 years old, because
who's taught her anything?
When you age out in the foster care system, there many of the foster families don't have much to do with you. Okay. A lot of the organizations that were there to support you when you were a teenager are no longer there, and they're no longer obligated to support you. So they have a few homes that they can, you know, live in or join, or there's some group homes that they can join.
Right.
But there's nobody there to help them as far as
teaching them morals and values.
Exactly. Or even, you know, teaching you, you know, a lot of the kids quit school, and then when they turn 18 years old, they think, okay, what did I do? I want to straighten my life out.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm 18, it's time for me to straighten my life out, and now they have no mentors to help them through that. So they don't have anybody to help them even calculate a checkbook. Like, really, they don't. They can't calculate a checkbook.
Well,
they don't know how to open up a bank account. They don't know how to open up a checking account. They don't know how to complete an application for a scholarship or a grant. They don't know how to do a lot of things, which is why they sometimes end up in a.
And she didn't either, I'm sure.
And she didn't.
And so, somebody offered her money, and
well, you know, then here comes the people that want to take advantage of, especially because you know, the pretty girls. They want to take advantage of you. They see a pretty girl. They say, hey, we know you don't have other outlets, but you have this outlet.
We'll give you money.
How about if you do this? We're going to give you the money. And she thinks, okay, well, not that this is her. I'm assuming this might have been her. I could be wrong, but I'm assuming this may have been an outlet for her.
Going from foster home to foster home.
Right. Therefore, she thought, okay, I need the money. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, it's not cut and dry. It's not.
It's not cut and dry.
The judge apparently, you know,
there are a lot
came
of
back
people
and gave her
judging
some time
and they don't know the background of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, you know, you got to look at the whole history and the whole story, and you know, you got to. Your heart has to go out a little bit. You can't say, oh, you know, well, too bad because la la la.
No, for me,
you know what? God forbid something happen to you like that, or somebody that you know, or your kids, or you know. So it's
the minute I heard she was a foster child, I kind of I knew
there was
from
more
the history that I know that there's a background there, and there's a background that people need to maybe, you know, don't judge her. Fine. And nobody can walk in her shoes.
Right.
You don't judge her. Just
so
you don't know what she's been through. So let's find that out, and let's help other kids that are in her situation, because it's an awesome thing.
Yeah,
that
there's more to this story that probably needs more attention.
Yeah, it's a great thing that she was.
There's kids out there like that.
Right. She was. You know. She did enough to become a Miss Teen.
She got that far.
Something, of course, had to. something that she did in her past.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, I agree.
You may be done with your past, but your past is never done with you.
No, and it's
okay,
still
and you
not.
always have to be careful of that.
At least
and in
with
her
me,
case,
it's not.
at such a young age, she's learning something, and hopefully there's a lot of other foster kids out there that can find other outlets in order to make life better, and they don't have to turn into a situation like this. And they can, know in their gut that when somebody comes to them and says, hey, why don't you do this? We'll offer you money. You'll be okay. You may be okay for the next 5-10 years. We can take care of you. That they'll know better that, there are some other ways. And I'm hoping to see that there are other avenues that they can take.
Right.
That in order to, maybe start, go to college. Are there mentors out there that can help them further their life and take their life to the next level instead of having to deal with something like this?
All right, well, to switch it over real quick, I just want to, because we're in Delaware again, we want to mention some things that happen here in Delaware that we enjoy doing. So I found here this, there's a bucket list here, 50 things every Delawarean must do. Now, I know for most people, Delaware is just the stretch from one state to another, but there's actually things to do in that stretch in between state to state. So I was going to mention a couple things here. There's 50, but what we'll do? We'll do the top 10. So what I was thinking is, well, there's the Wilmington Blue Rocks. You can enjoy a baseball game, and we're turning in, we're going into spring and summer. Okay. There's the Hagley Museum. Actually, my girlfriend works there. There is the Green Room at the Hotel DuPont. That's number 3. You can read a couple.
Wow.
St. Patrick's Day at Kelly's Logan House. You got to do that. That's the loop. All right, I'll do the top 5. Just about done. And I don't like the charcoal pit. Ugh. All right. I'm sorry. Dogfish Head Brewery. Dogfish Head Brewery. All right. We'll see you. Sorry.
Well, thank you for tuning in to Good Morning Mimosa. Until next time. Until next time,
we will have Mimosa.
Look forward to our we're going to have a guest next time, so thank you very much for tuning in.